The world of finance is a constant human psychology, but every so often, a sync exhibit behaviors that can only be described as illogical, paradoxical, and deeply unsettling. Right now, the global car market is just that. Despite what seemed like a sudden, temporary burst of panic buying, the system is showing clear and undeniable signs of cracking. And if you look closely enough, it's not a market in a slump, it's not a market in a freefall. The question isn't if it's going to collapse. The logical and more terrifying question is, what unseen forces are pulling the strings? And what does this silent collapse mean for the rest of us? To understand this economic mystery, we have to are being forced to buy cars right now. The average new vehicle, an astronomical $50,000. Even a 3-year-old used car is priced at an almost unaffordable $30,000. And to make these prices seem palatable, the industry has locked people into a financial trap. It's a horror story built on debt. Nearly 1 in 5 new car buyers are signing on for 84-month loans. That's a full 7 years of car payments. And with the average interest rate on a new car hovering around 7% and a terrifying 20% for a used car, people are thousands of dollars in hidden costs just for the privilege of driving a vehicle. But for subprime borrowers, the situation is a true nightmare. Interest rates can reach as high as 21%, transforming a car loan into a relentless, life-draining machine. As shiggas begin to break down, the cracks are now visible in the form of rising old delinquencies. In late 2024, 60-day delinquency rates for subprime borrowers reached a record high of over 6%. Broader delinquencies now exceed 1.5%, a chilling number not seen since the financial crisis of 2008. The system is showing the exact same symptoms of stress that it did a decade and a half ago, and yet no one seems to be taking it seriously. It is a logical contradiction. How can we be on the cusp of a financial crisis and yet continue to act as if everything is fine? But what if the most terrifying of the slope, motion collapse, isn't the debt itself, but the hidden system meant to help its own people is now actively harming them? The most common justification for the new auto tariffs is that they're a way to help American manufacturing, is it by American. But this idea is a complete and utter myth, a logical fabrication, a dangerous lie. The reality is that no mass market vehicle sold in the US is 100% American made. Take the Ford F-150, often hailed as the most patriotic vehicle on the road. According to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, a shocking 70% of its components are sourced from other countries. The Ford is not alone in this. It is the rule, not the exception. The average US assembled vehicle contains about 50% foreign parts. Even Tesla, a company that proudly factories, relies heavily on foreign supply chains for its battery cells and key materials. So when tariffs hit imports, it's not just the price of foreign brands that increases. It's the price of everything. Even the vehicles that appear to be domestic are now more expensive. Ford and GM are feeling the pressure, with Ford suspending its earnings guidance and GM pausing its stock buyback, both citing the uncertain cost environment created by these very same tariffs. It is a brilliant and horrific cap policies meant to strengthen the domestic industry are actually causing a ripple effect that is raising prices for everyone, destroying jobs, entire system even more fragile. And the collapse of the car market is not an isolated event. It is a dire warning, a canary in the coal mine for the entire US economy. Consumers are financially exhausted. The University of Michigan's Consumer Sentiment Index remains at some of the lowest levels since 1952. With over $165 trillion in outstanding car loans, rising defaults don't just hurt the borrowers. They threaten a broad spectrum of financial institutions, from banks to credit unions. If these losses continue, lenders will tighten credit, making it harder for people to get loans for everything. From home appliances to small businesses, the true horror of the situation. The car market is showing us built on a fragile foundation of debt and logical contradictions finally begins to crumble. We are not just seeing a temporary dip in sales. We are witnessing the first downfall in a potential financial crisis. It is a silent unraveling, one that is not being discussed in the headlines. The system is proving itself to be terrifyingly fragile. And what is happening in the auto industry might just be the first warning sign. The unraveling of the car market is a chilling investigation into how good intentions can lead to catastrophic consequences. It's a look at how a system of prosperity can turn into a cage of debt and economic hardship. We have only just scratched the surface of this mystery. If you are new here and you loving into the logical mysteries of our world and unraveling the complex topics that affect us all, then you've come to the right place. Be sure to hit that subscribe button to join the Odd World Files for more logical deconstructions of our strange reality.